All right, well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to our webinar that will begin shortly. We are waiting for our counterpart Facebook to allow us in, but thank you all for being here. And Stacy Rowan is here with us today. She's currently invisible, but she's coming our way. So thank you for being here, and Stacy. And like I said, we are waiting for our Facebook counterparts. We are allowing more guests to come in. So hang tight and we will begin shortly. A couple of housekeeping items before we get started. All of our webinars that we've already had, we've had about 13 already. This is about 15, and we have about 7 more coming up. Our live, you can go back and view them on Facebook, and then you can go to our website, uab.edu/families, under the communications tab, and under 2024 webinars, you can go back and view all of the webinars that we have done. So as we prepare to greet our other family members, other housekeeping items have to do with I'm sorry, I'm diverging here, but I'm trying to make sure that Facebook is working for us. So all of our webinars are on our website and back on Facebook Live, and you can go back and view them. You will also be getting a post-webinar survey, and we would appreciate your insights and your feedback, as we always try to include more webinars and make them more available for you. So while we get ready to start, if you give me a few more seconds, and Stacy, if you give me a few more seconds, we are having some technical difficulties with Facebook, but we will get it going, and we're allowing families to hop in both on Facebook and here on Zoom. So give me 1 minute. Is that okay? And I'll be right back. All right, we're back. And so we're glad to have everybody here. We have a couple of people joining us on Facebook, and we got it going. Technology can be marvelous, but sometimes it just has a mind of its own. So welcome, Stacy. And Stacy is the Assistant Director for Fraternity and Sorority Life. And today she will take us on, give us information about everything you need to know if your student is interested in fraternity and sorority life here at UAB. So welcome, Stacy. It's all yours.
Thank you, Carmen, and welcome to all of our family members who are joining us today. Very happy to have you here with us and excited to help you learn everything you ever wanted to know about fraternities and sororities at UAB, whether you were a member of an organization when you were in college, or this is your first introduction to fraternity and sorority life. I'm happy to give you any information you need, because even if you were an undergraduate member, things have changed a lot, and that is what I'm here to help you understand. So again, my name is Stacy Rowan. I serve as the Assistant Director for Fraternity and Sorority Life here at UAB. I've been here at UAB for 3 years, and I have served as a full-time fraternity sorority life advisor for 7 years. And I love fraternities and sororities, and excited to have y'all here with us today. So just in case I am using some acronyms. If I say FSL, that is the acronym for Fraternity and Sorority Life. So if that is an acronym I use along the way, just know that I am meaning Fraternity and Sorority Life when I use that acronym. So for our benefits of involvement, this is a broad overview of some of our national data. This is not UAB specific yet, but we are going to talk specifically about our UAB data in just a little bit. Overall, we have over 9 million total members. So we have a lot of fraternity and sorority members worldwide. Overall, we have a 70% graduation rate, so we are really achieving the goal highly of graduating our students. Of course, we can always improve that, but that is truly our goal, is to enroll our students and to graduate them. We also commit 10 million hours of volunteer service each year. And overall, in our student leader community, 85% of those student leaders are affiliated with a fraternity and sorority. Oftentimes, we find that student leaders on our college campuses are involved in multiple areas of leadership, and just one of those areas is fraternity and sorority life. So here's some specifics about our UAB community. At our largest, which is right after our membership recruitment or intake process in the fall semester, we have over 1,000 members. So this number represents our largest at the end of fall semester last year, where we were just over 1,000 members. So while we maybe are not Alabama size, we are not a small community either. We have a total of 26 organizations, and we have a total of 4 governing councils. And we'll talk a little bit more about those governing councils in just a little bit and what those mean. You can see below our distribution of men and women, and how our distribution is spread out under our councils. So we have a lot of sorority women in our community. That is the majority of who is represented in our community. But we also have a lot of really great men that make up our fraternity community as well. In our governing councils, our CPH, which represents our College Panhellenic community, that is our largest governing council. As you can see, they make up almost 50% of our membership. Our IFC community, Interfraternity Council, they make up our next largest piece of our pie. Our NPHC, National Panhellenic Council, is just under 17%. So we have a large NPHC community here as well. And MGC, our Multicultural Greek Council, also represents 6% here. So for our governing councils, our Interfraternity Council, we currently have 7 fraternities that fall under our IFC. Our average chapter size is 40, but again, we're going to have chapters that vary within that, that council. So we have chapters anywhere from 20 to 70. So really, our members can find whatever kind of experience they're looking for within IFC. In our Multicultural Greek Council, this is our first mixed gender council. So we have both fraternities and sororities within this council. Right now, we have 3 chartered groups within this council and 2 interest groups. And we'll talk a little bit more about those when we get to our MGC slide in a bit. And our average chapter size is 15. And right now, that is pretty much the chapter size that you'll find within MGC. That it doesn't vary too much within MGC. So our multicultural groups, you will find that in our MGC at UAB, they were founded on a specific cultural basis, although the students who join do not necessarily need to identify with that council or with that culture. So within MGC right now, we have groups that are South Asian based, Asian interest, and Latino or Latina, and multicultural. So again, this is a council that that was founded on specific cultural values, but a student does not have to belong to that specific culture to receive membership to these organizations. Similarly, in our National Panhellenic Council, that is also known as NPHC or the Divine Nine. These are our historically Black or African American fraternities and sororities. Again, you do not need to belong to that culture to receive membership into these organizations. But it is a really important and special part of their founding. The average chapter size, again, is 15. This council is going to vary widely on size of chapter. You might have a chapter of 3, you might have a chapter of 90. It really just depends on if the chapter has recently completed membership intake. Maybe they have not recently completed membership intake and they've graduated a lot of their members, and so their membership is low. And so it really is just going to vary often, a lot of times, what the membership numbers really are in this council. And in our College Panhellenic Council, this is all sororities. So we have 6 sororities in Panhellenic. And the average chapter size is 85. This one is also not going to vary too much. You might find that they are somewhere between 75 and 95, but for the most part, it's going to stick somewhere around 85. For community engagement, this is something that we really take a lot of pride in our fraternity and sorority community at UAB. So this information is from our 2023-2024 academic year. On the left side, the information is regarding our service hours, and all of our organizations will require their members to complete a certain number of volunteer hours. Some of them even require service hours to be completed before they receive membership. A lot of times, they will also need to complete service hours once they are a member. Sometimes those can be done as a group. They will organize service days as a chapter. They can also record their service hours if they're, volunteering at the hospital or something like that, something that is more targeted towards their career. That's also absolutely allowed and supported. And you can see here the breakdown by our councils of how much they are committing for our service hours. So we are really proud that just in 1 year, our members have completed just under 5,000 hours of community service. And then on the right-hand side, you'll see that philanthropy and donating to causes is also something that is really important to us. Now, this is not something that is required, but is really something that a lot of our members feel called to do. So you can see here that a lot of our councils and our chapters are donating really large sums of money. So we donated over $70,000 as a community last year. Again, these are going towards, children with cancer, really worthy causes. And again, things that our students can feel really proud that they are helping the cause. We are also really proud that our students value their academic commitment. You can see here that these are our GPAs collectively from the spring semester. So overall average in the yellow boxes are all of the members' average GPAs for the spring semester. Down below, you can see some of the other averages calculated that might be of interest to you. For example, at the bottom of the left-hand side, the all FSL GPA was 3.38. And then at the bottom on the right-hand side, the all undergraduate GPA was 3.19. That is something that, we really love to highlight because We love telling people that our students are achieving higher than the average undergraduate student at UAB. We know that UAB has a lot of really rigorous academic programs, and it takes a lot of time and commitment to make sure that you are getting good grades in those programs. And for us to be able to say our fraternity and sorority members are achieving at higher rates is something that we are very, very proud of. So last year, we had 451 new members join our fraternity and sorority community. So it's kind of like we get about 50%, or just under 50% new members every year in our organizations. So you can see here that 46% of those new members belong to our College Panhellenic Council. Over on the right-hand side, the 3.46 is the average GPA of just those new members. Same thing, 23% of those new members came into the Interfraternity Council organizations. Their GPA was a 3.23. 3%, a small number, came into our Multicultural Greek Council organizations, and they had a GPA of 3.09. And 28% of those 451 joined our NPHC organizations with a 3.27. So what this tells me is that our organizations are really lifting up our new members and making sure that our newest members are continuing to value academics and prioritizing academics, even though we are going through our new member or intake process. If your student is wanting to join an organization and maybe is not sure where to start, we do have an event that they can visit all of the organizations. That event is called the Fraternity and Sorority Expo. It is happening on August 28th. That is a Wednesday, and it will happen from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. and it will happen on the campus green. We would love to see any interested students out there. We will have all 26 of our organizations tabling out on the green. So any student that, is even thinking about joining, have them come out. Our organizations would love to give more information to any interested student, help them understand the process, kind of answer any questions that, they might be wondering about, how do I balance academics? Am I going to have time with, my personal life? Can I have a job? Things like that. And those are questions that, that the members are going to be able to answer for your students. So let's talk a little bit specifically about our councils. In our National Panhellenic Council, NPHC, we have 8 chapters. So I called this this council the Divine Nine before, and that is because there are 9 chapters that belong to this council. We have 8 of those chapters on our campus here. So we have listed here all of the chapters that we have on our campus here. And all of these chapters will be tabling at our expo. Many of them will also be tabling, if you've heard of Connect Fest, which is happening the day before classes begin. It's a huge event that also happens on the campus green. There's free food, there's music, there's inflatables. I mean, this is an event that you don't want to miss. So many of these organizations will also be tabling at Connect Fest. So come out to Connect Fest, come out to the FSL Expo, and encourage your students to check out these organizations. Again, I put the average chapter size and then the average new member class size. So again, just due to the nature of these organizations, some are fairly large and some are fairly small. And so your student, if they join an NPHC organization, may come in with 2 or 3 other members. They may come in with 80 other members. It really just depends on the organization, the interest level, how many members that organization can take that semester. And so that new member class size, while the average is 15, may vary widely. If your student is interested specifically in learning about NPHC, we have an event called Greek Speak, where they're able to learn more about NPHC only. That event will happen on September 11th. The time and location have not been secured yet, and so make sure your student is following our social media accounts so that they can stay up to date for all of the information that's relevant to Greek Speak. For our Multicultural Greek Council, we do have 3 chartered organizations. These are organizations who have gone through the entire process and have proven to their national organizations that they are sustainable and have received the recognition to be an organization on our campus forever. We also have 2 interest groups on our campus, and you will see right now that they are organizations that do not have Greek letters assigned to them. And that is because of their interest group status. So right now they are going through the process of proving to the national organizations that they are sustainable and that they do have the interest from students on our campus. So they have not, they've not achieved that milestone just yet to their national organizations that they're hoping to affiliate with. And so as of this point, they are not able to be known as those national Greek letter organizations. So right now we have Hermanos Unidos, who is a Latino multicultural fraternity. And we also have Lotus. They are an Asian interest sorority. So what's really cool about these interest groups is that they're just starting up. And so if your student is interested in kind of being at the forefront of creating a new organization, this might be something that they're interested in because, you know, these organizations are creating their governing documents. You know, they might be able to be the first position of something. They get to help create the traditions and the values of these organizations. And so if your student is looking for a really cool leadership opportunity, these interest groups are something that I would encourage them to look into. Again, even though these organizations were founded on a specific cultural basis, they do not need to belong to that culture to join any of our MGC or our NPHC groups. So just for your awareness, Delta Epsilon Psi and Sigma Sigma Rho are South Asian organizations. Delta Epsilon Psi is a fraternity, Sigma Sigma Rho sorority, and Sigma Lambda Gamma is a Latina multicultural sorority. And again, the average chapter size is 15 and the average new member class size is 5. If your student is interested in learning more about MGC or potentially joining an MGC organization, our MGC kickoff is scheduled for September 5th, and that will be held at 7:00 p.m. in the Commons Plaza. In our interfraternity council, we currently have 7 chapters, and they're listed again on the left side of the screen. Our average chapter size is 40, and then depending on which semester a student joins in, that's going to depend on what size the new member class is. So our member classes are larger in the fall and they're smaller in the spring. Some organizations may choose not to bring in new members in the spring, and that is their choice. So that does kind of bring down the number in the spring a little bit. So the best opportunity to join is in the spring. That doesn't mean that you cannot join. I'm sorry. The best opportunity to join is in the fall. It doesn't mean you cannot join in the spring. But if your student is interested in an IFC organization, just so they're aware, they may not, the organization that they are interested may not choose to select new members in the spring. And IFC participates in formal recruitment for both fall and spring. Formal recruitment for the fall is scheduled for September 9th through 13th. That will take place various times and locations because we do have 7 organizations. They schedule them and plan them on their own. But an interested student can register via Engage if they log into their Engage account, and in the search bar, just search IFC recruitment. They can fill out the registration form there. And for your information, IFC does use a 365 recruitment model, even though there is a specific formal recruitment week. IFC organizations are allowed to recruit at any time of the year. What that does not mean is that they cannot extend membership or give a bid to a student at any time of the year. So where it says, except for specific dead periods assigned by IFC, that specific language from the IFC bylaws right now would be a specific dead period. It is the summer. They are not allowed to extend membership right now. The first time they would be allowed to extend membership would be September 14th, which is bid day. So that is after the completion of formal recruitment. So just so you and your students are aware, no one should be extending membership right now, and no one should be accepting membership right now. So if your student has had that, please reach out to me. And we just want to keep the playing field as even as possible, and make sure that our young men who are interested in IFC have the opportunity to explore all of their options. And finally, in our College Panhellenic Council, typically referred to as Panhellenic, we do have 6 sorority chapters, and our average chapter size currently is 85, some a little bit smaller, some a little bit larger. And our new member class size is about 30 in the fall and 7 in the spring. Very similar to IFC. Your chapters are going to do their formal recruitment in the fall. They'll do informal recruitment in the spring. And so your best opportunity to join your chapter of choice is in the fall. And if you're looking to join a specific chapter, which we do hope everyone keeps an open mind and explores all of their options, but everyone's best opportunity to join a chapter for Panhellenic and IFC is in the fall. So that is just why there's a difference in the new member class sizes. And then for primary recruitment for Panhellenic in the fall, that starts early on Tuesday, August 20th, and bid day will be Saturday, August 24th. What happens on August 20th is just move-in. If a student is living in the residence halls this year, they will move into their residence hall early. And then they will join us for a recruitment convocation. We'll kind of give them a rundown of the week. They will meet their recruitment counselor, and a lot of times they will go to dinner, or they'll, get a dessert or something like that. So they'll get to meet a lot of new friends, but that day is a little bit more relaxed. And then Wednesday, we start actual recruitment. So it is a long couple of days, because since it is our primary recruitment period, any woman who is interested in joining a sorority through this primary recruitment needs to explore all of her options. It is not a choice. So we have 6 sororities, and on our first day of recruitment, so Wednesday, she will visit all 6. And then she will narrow down from there. So on Thursday, she will visit up to 4, and on Friday, she will visit up to 2. So it is a mutual selection process. Every day, once she has completed the visits to sororities, she will log into a computer system. I'll help her do that, and she will make her selections of which sororities she would most prefer to return to. Because it is a mutual selection process, the sororities are doing that as well. And so then we'll click a button on the computer, and the sorority or the computer program will match those preferences, and it will give us a schedule of who has matched with those preferences, and that is how we continue to narrow down throughout the week. And then we get to bid day, which is the photo that you see here, and then we have a lot of happy women, and sometimes we have parents who want to come and celebrate with their children, and that's okay. Just know that sometimes it's a fast-paced experience. So that will also happen on the green if you are a parent that wants to come and celebrate with your student. And then once our students receive their invitations to membership or bids, or they have started their membership education process, our staff in FSL take prevention education very seriously. So one of the things that we do to make sure that we are keeping our students as safe as possible is that we require all new members to attend a session called FSL 101. And our IFC and Panhellenic students will attend in person. NPHC and MGC organizations will participate through an asynchronous platform due to the nature of their programs. Those new member processes are not publicly known, and we do not want to violate the nature of those intake processes, and so we allow them to do that asynchronously. Through this program, we will introduce them to staff, and so they know that if they ever need anything, they can come and introduce themselves to us, and we will help them to the best of our ability. We will help them know who their friends are on campus in their organizations. We talk about hazing prevention. We talk about alcohol misuse prevention and sexual violence prevention, and then we send them home with a handout of community resources. There are a ton of resources here on campus, which if you're attending this webinar, I'm sure that you've attended other ones and you're aware that UAB has really great resources on campus, and we just want to make sure that we are supplementing their knowledge of resources on our campus so they're staying as safe and as healthy that they can while they're on UAB's campus. So these are the dates and times of FSL 101. Their presidents and new member educators already know about these days and times. We give them these dates and times like 6 months in advance. So as soon as your student joins, they will know that they are required to go to this event. There's 2 options for them, so that hopefully one of these fits into their class schedule. We also recognize Hazing Prevention Week and National Hazing Prevention Week. There's a link at the bottom. I know it's not clickable, but if you want to type that in or take a picture and look at it later, National Hazing Prevention Week is recognized September 23rd through 27th, and that is also when we recognize Hazing Prevention Week here. We do require each chapter to send representatives to our events throughout the week. And typically those events include keynote speakers. We have a pledge signing against hazing. We usually view a documentary and have a discussion about that. And we also have differing educational opportunities for our students to learn, different things about how to stop hazing, different statistics about hazing, because a lot of times our students may not know exactly what hazing is, and this helps them understand, maybe I've seen that before and I didn't recognize that was hazing. So, we want to make sure that our students are educated on that so that they understand and can appropriately address those situations. So if you're looking, hopefully, to support your students through their fraternity and sorority involvement, I have thought of a couple different ways, hopefully, that will be beneficial to you. Maybe if you are maybe unfamiliar with this, maybe this is your first student or child that is going through this process, or maybe, again, you were a member when you were in college, but it's been a while. And so you just want to support them in the best way possible. And I would love to help you do that. So if you want to review the benefits of joining with your students, that is a great place to start. I've listed a few out here for you, but there are a ton of benefits to joining fraternities and sororities. It's a great idea also to talk with them about making sure that they're balancing their time commitment and their schedule, because joining an organization is going to be a huge time commitment. And it is possible to balance all of those things, but we want to make sure that they know exactly, what it is going to take and can they commit to that. You can also find ways to get involved in their organization. A lot of times chapters will have events, or sometimes they'll have volunteer opportunities for their parents and families. I know the Office of Off-Campus Student and Family Engagement has their family weekend. A lot of times our chapters will hold their own family weekends on that same weekend. And that's a really great way to get yourself involved with the chapter, meet other members' families. So it's a really great way to learn a little bit more about UAB and learn a little bit more about your students' fraternity or sorority as well. Make sure you're aware of the importance of academic achievement. Make sure you're also talking with them about their academic progress, checking in on them. That is just, really great advice no matter what. But, with that time commitment piece, right? Are they carving out time in addition to their fraternity sorority commitment for their academics as well? Helping them think through their risk management situations, making sure that they know that there are policies and procedures, helping them make informed decisions about, what they're going to be faced with, not just in fraternity, sorority, but in college, in life. That's going to be huge as they enter their adult life. Ask questions about their membership process so that you can celebrate with them, but that if you do have a concern, that you can also address that should they come up. And so it's okay if you're asking questions about that, and they should be telling you about those things. They should not be hiding them from you. And so if you are concerned about hazing, I listed out just a few warning signs of hazing. And again, have a little disclaimer at the bottom here. This is not an exhaustive list. And just because a student is exhibiting some of these signs does not necessarily mean they are being hazed. But if you do have a concern, please call me. My number and our email is at the end of this, and I'm happy to discuss anything with you. But we do not want to put any student in danger. And so if you have a concern, please talk to your student, please talk to me, please file a report. And so just to go over some of the potential warning signs of hazing, if your student is exhibiting excessive exhaustion or lack of sleep, that might be a warning sign. Maybe they're frequently asking for money, or they are complaining about never having enough money. They're telling you that they're having to do favors for other members. Maybe those favors are laundry, cleaning their house, or they're having to give people rides. If they're being told not to share their experience with anyone, there are certain things that they may not be able to share with you that are ritual, right? If you are not a member of their organization, they will not be able to share their written ritual with you. But if they're not sharing anything with you, that definitely would be a red flag for me. If they're spending just unreasonable amounts of time on their fraternity or sorority, that would be something that would cause me to have some concern. If they are failing their classes or they're not attending classes, I would have concern about that. If they have excessive or increased alcohol use, that might be a warning sign. Or if they have physical bruises or marks on their body. Again, just because they have these or they're exhibiting these signs does not mean that they are being hazed, but we'd much rather be safe than sorry. UAB has a zero tolerance policy for hazing, as do any of our organizations that we have on campus here. Hazing is illegal. It is against the law, and we do not condone it. None of the organizations that we have on campus here condone it, and we just want to make sure that we are clear about our expectations. So if you do suspect hazing, these are the ways that you can report. There are a lot of ways here. So as I said, you can call me and I'm happy to talk through that with you. If you have a concern, if you have a suspicion, happy to talk that through with you if you're just not sure, and then we can figure that out together. So you can report directly to me. You can report to April Myers. She is our coordinator for Fraternity and Sorority Life. You can report to Jennifer Griffin, our director for student involvement and leadership, or and our contact information is there. We are located, April and myself are located in the student activities or student assembly building. And Jennifer is located in the Hill Student Center. You can report to our Student Affairs Administration. You can report to the Office of Community Standards and Student Accountability. You or your student can report anonymously through the incident report form. But what we do ask, if an individual decides to report through this form, is that we ask that you be as detailed as possible, because since it is anonymous, we cannot follow up. And so we do need as much detail as possible so that we can follow through with that report. Anyone can report to chapter advisors, any regional representatives, or you can call directly to the organization's headquarters. And if you'd prefer, you can report directly to the National Anti-Hazing Hotline, and that number is right there as well. And so there are many, many, many ways to report hazing that are available to you and our students. And if you would like to connect with us, here are our ways to connect: our Instagram, our email, and our website. And I am happy to leave this up in the case that anyone needs the contact information. And I think we have some questions that I am more than happy to answer.
Yes, definitely. Stacy, go ahead and take care of those questions. I think they're closely related, so go ahead. Are you able to see?
I have. Oh, thank you for putting that question in the chat.
If not, I can read it to you. I think the question has to do, they're related. It's the Fraternity and Sorority Expo that you mentioned happening on August 28th. So the question is, there's a doubt if it's August 28th or July 28th.
So the FSL Expo is August 28th. I think what these questions are referring to is the Panhellenic Preview Day, which was not mentioned in this presentation, which is July 28th. So there are two separate events. Panhellenic Preview Day, July 28th. FSL Expo is August 28th.
Excellent. Thank you for the clarification. So families, we hope this information has been very useful as you and your student talk about all the options that are available for your students. It's a great opportunity, and there's many different activities that are going to be happening. So we look forward to having your students join one of these organizations or contact Stacy if they have any questions. There's one more question that came in. Do you have any idea of sorority dues?
Do we know which council we're wondering about?
Yes, so if the family member who asked the question, can you elaborate a little bit more? If there's, are you talking about a specific group or? Because there are no UAB sororities, right? It's just
Well,
specific to
yeah,
each council.
and the answer is gonna vary depending on the council, and so I wanna make sure to give some more accurate information as much as I can.
Okay, so there are some dues, but it depends on the specific council.
Oh, yes, there
And while we get specificity on which council they're talking about, at what time on bid day should the parents be there? When do they receive their bids?
I do not have the I don't have the time in front of me, and so I don't want to misspeak. But we will give that information to your student participating. Because I don't want to tell you a wrong time and then you show up late or, it's in the afternoon, definitely. But I'll get more information, more accurate information to you through your student. And it looks like we're asking about Panhellenic dues. So I can give you averages. Average Panhellenic dues are going to be for a new member, one semester, your new member semester is going to be somewhere between $850 and $900, just one semester. Because you need to pay for some things in your membership that you will never have to pay for again. Your badge, your initiation fee, things like that. In the subsequent semesters, so however long your student will be a member if she joins in her first semester, and then she's here for 4 years, so 7 semesters after that. The dues are somewhere around 500 per semester. Every organization will offer a payment plan, and each organization is required to hand out, we give them out digitally, a financial transparency form that details what a member will be charged every semester and what that money is going to. So students and families that may be helping finance this experience will know exactly where their money is going and exactly how much they are going to be charged. So you will know that before you join.
And we have 2 more questions. When should I sign up for bid day and how many sorority expos are there?
There's no need to sign up for bid day. But if you're a parent, you can just show up. No need to sign up. And then there is only one FSL Expo that joins both of our fraternity and sorority communities. So now the expo does happen after Panhellenic recruitment. And so if your student is interested in joining a Panhellenic organization, they will want to sign up for Panhellenic recruitment prior to that. Panhellenic recruitment deadline for registration is August 11th. And so that is coming up in 4 weeks from now. But that means that does not mean that the sororities will not be continuing to recruit after that. And so the sororities will still be at the expo. They will some of them will still be giving out bids, and so there will still be opportunities to join Panhellenic organizations when the FSL Expo is going on August 28th.
And you may have addressed already the just the collegiate Panhellenic
Yes,
council.
I think that one was about the dues.
Yes, thank you. So thank you everybody for attending this very interesting webinar. I've learned so much myself about FSL. So if you have additional questions, definitely reach out to Stacy at fsl@uab.edu. if you have additional questions and you want to reach out to us, we can always send them your questions and put you in touch. And definitely, when you said make sure students are checking their email, you mean UAB email, right? Because all the communication will be going through UAB email. So that's something to remind students. We also talked about it in the earlier webinars about how students need to be moving towards checking their UAB email on a regular basis so that they don't miss any important information, deadlines, and just fun activities or events that are about to happen. So I am not seeing any other questions. As I said, I'm monitoring both Facebook and Zoom, but we do appreciate all of you who have submitted your questions. Again, if you have additional questions, do not hesitate to send them to either us at families@uab.edu, and we will send them over to FSL or to fsl@uab.edu. And before we go, please remember that we have upcoming webinars. We have webinars coming up on disability support services. We have webinars also coming up on community standards, student accountability, as well as if your student has any interest in health professions or dentistry. We have a lot of webinars coming up. So please go back and look at the calendar, register. We'll be sending out reminders. And thank you all for attending. And thank you, Stacy, for taking us on this journey about fraternities and sororities at UAB. Thank you, everybody. Have a great afternoon.
Thank you.